Our very special guest, Amy D'Angelo, are very passionate about.
My friend.
And Amy, I think a lot of times when we think this only happens in the winter, because I think we hear more about it in the winter.
Yeah.
But it's storm season coming up, so that means there's there's going to be a lot more opportunities for carbon monoxide poisoning. I hate to put it that way. And it was interesting because I looked something up and it said symptoms, if there's a high level of carbon monoxide in your house, that smoke detector that we all grew up with, that we thought was fine, and you still need that, is not going to tell you about carbon monoxide. But if there's a high level of that carbon monoxide in your home or in wherever you are, 5 minutes before you start to feel symptoms, and a lot of times they're flu-like symptoms, so you don't even know about that. If it's low level, you've got about up to 2 hours. We always like to start by me telling you my personal story, and if you've heard this a million times, I apologize, but just indulge me again. I'll start this way. Over 450,000 have been sold on QVC because we are really appealing to you today. This is an opportunity for you to have a safer home, apartment, to give a gift that's meaningful, that could really, truly save someone's life. I mean, this was years ago. And I'll be honest with you, we had smoke detectors like we were supposed to have, right? And somebody had given me, at that time, years ago, a carbon monoxide detector, and I had it plugged into the hallway. Never thought about it again, went about my business. The day before it actually went off, we had somebody come in and look at our furnace. So when it went off in the middle of the night, I was like, that thing is broken. It must be broken. I haven't looked at it for years. And it stopped. It went off a little bit and it stopped. Well, it was fall, and so our heat was only circulating for a couple of minutes, and then it would turn itself off. I went to work, honest to goodness. I was standing there in the morning show, and in the back of my head, I was thinking to myself, you know, maybe you should stop on the way home. I was like, yeah, let me stop on the way home. So I went to the big box store and I bought one for every level, and I put them in, just like, you know, they were the ones you stuck in the wall. I put them in the wall. I go down in the basement, and the thing is going beep, 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 beep. And I look around and I say to myself, you know what? This thing must be broken too, or I don't know what I'm doing, because it didn't smell. It didn't look different. Everything looked the same in my home.
That's the problem.
Yes, that's the challenge of it. So if that carbon monoxide detector had not gone off, I don't know if we'd be here today, my family, because we wouldn't have known that was going on. And it happened that I called the non-emergency number and said, oh, please don't rush over. They said, lady, get yourself out of there, get the pets, the kid, everything out. Will come. They came, and there was a huge, massive presence of carbon monoxide in my basement that my backup battery to my sump pump, which was a marine battery, had malfunctioned, and that was getting sucked into my heating system. So I'm saying this, even the smartest people that we know darn well that this is a silent killer, you can't see it or anything, this is the only way that you know. And this one does you one better, because this has natural gas as well. And it's easy, right, Amy? This one plugs in.
It's so easy. All you're going to do is plug it in. And it does have a battery for backup purposes. And it even gives you that little chirp so that you can hear when it needs a new battery, which I love. But I just want to sound it for you, because this is the only way you'll know if there is carbon monoxide in your home. And like Pat mentioned, it's that incomplete combustion of fossil fuels, your gas, your oil, your propane, all of your heating system. So
way more things than you ever dreamed.
Yep. So when this goes off, that is a carbon monoxide reading. It is measured in parts per million for the gas. And that's what you're seeing right there. If you hear this, again, please don't go look for that number. Leave your home and let the emergency services handle it. Now, if it happens to be a natural gas leak, you're going to hear one beep, a pause, one beep, a pause, and it will say gas. So that's the difference between the two alarms, just so you know. But it plugs in, and again, we recommend one on each and every level of your home. Why? Well, because it's an alarm. If you can't hear that alarm going off, you're not going to know to leave. My poor dad, I pick on him on TV way too much, my poor dad, but he has trouble hearing. So if he can't hear this go off in his hallway because his door is closed, it's not going to help him. So we recommend, if you have hearing issues, put one in your bedroom. Leave one on every level so that you can make sure you can hear it. And if you happen to have a long ranch style home, maybe you put one on either side of the home. Yes. But again, it comes from the incomplete combustion of fossil fuels. And what happens is all it takes is an appliance to malfunction one time. And your appliances are your cooktop, your range, your stove.
Things we
your
all
vent.
have.
Things we all have, and that's the funny thing, because you think, oh, I don't have a generator.
Right.
I
I'm
don't
not
have
running
a
generator.
fireplace.
Right.
I don't need this. I'll never have carbon monoxide. But like you said,
Wrong.
it was that marine battery that malfunctioned, and it's a gas. It penetrates through sheetrock. It will get into your heating system, and it spreads throughout your home so fast. And because it is the silent killer, it's colorless, it's odorless, it's tasteless. This is the only way that you will know it's in your home.
Because you will look around and everything will look exactly the same. Take a look at this.
Yeah.
And you can see why we get so passionate and excited about this when we have the opportunity to offer it to you. And we got you $15 off today. And I know it's not the sexiest thing you're ever going to buy, but it's so important. I mean, the chimney, the car that you talked to us about.
The car, your clothing dryer, your range, your vent, your fireplace, your generator. You know, these are all things, your water heater. We had a friend who used to actually present this on air, and a big delivery truck backed into her driveway, and the carbon monoxide went into her window and set off her carbon monoxide sensors. Alberti lost a bandmate, and the bandmate's mother all took carbon monoxide. You feel like you have the flu. It happened to a friend of mine. Her little daughter said, I don't feel well. They'd been cooking for days for a party. Her stove had malfunctioned. All of a sudden, her husband didn't feel well. She didn't feel well. When they left the house, emergency services got there. They were lucky to get out when they did. So I just want you to hear this one more time. And again, this is the sound of the carbon monoxide. The gas is measured in parts per million. It will give you a readout. If you hear it, grab your loved ones, grab your fur babies, and leave. Don't worry about that readout. Emergency services will.
And listen, it's not like the end of the world. I mean, they came in, in like suits. Head to toe in protection, and they opened up all the windows, and then it was fine, and we figured out what was actually causing it. They didn't even know what was causing it in the beginning. 5 easy pays here. You can get them home for $10. Here's another thing. Do you have someone you love who's in assisted living? Maybe you're downsized. Maybe your kids are going to be graduating, moving into an apartment. Jane's, her oldest, just bought a new house. Like, there's only 38 states that require this. So a lot of times smoke alarm is all you get. It's up to us to make sure that the people we love are protected. And protect yourself.
And it's small, and I always show my phone next to it just so that you can see that. But it plugs in anywhere and you won't even notice it.
And the battery is just for backup. It needs to be plugged in.
Correct.
So, and you'll see this little tag that will let you know that the battery is fresh when you get it, but eventually you'll need to replace that. These will need to be replaced in what, like 7 years?
These are,
about approximately 7 years. And that's just standard in the industry for this kind of carbon monoxide and natural gas plug-in sensor. Put it in your cart. Check out is V37851. Amy, thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
All right, so I've gotten a lot of nice compliments on my sweater. This